The world loves avocados, and it's easy to see why. From trendy cafes in Tokyo to bustling markets in Paris, this creamy green fruit has become a global sensation, celebrated for its taste, nutrition, and versatility. But behind every perfectly ripe avocado is a high-stakes global trade, where fortunes are made and lost. The journey from orchard to overseas market is filled with challenges, regulations, and fierce competition. In May 2025, Taiwan rejected a major shipment of U.S. avocados, not for pests or spoilage, but for traces of a heavy metal most consumers have never even heard of, cadmium. This decision sent shockwaves through the industry. The incident exposed the tough reality for American growers, who must navigate a maze of strict international standards, sudden market closures, and the risk of seeing their hard work go to waste overnight. Meanwhile, Mexico, the undisputed global avocado powerhouse, continues to thrive. With established trade relationships and a reputation for quality, Mexican exporters sign billion-dollar deals, shipping Hass avocados to every corner of the world with remarkable ease. But what determines whether a shipment is accepted or rejected? Why do some containers sail through customs while others are turned away? The answer lies in a complex web of food safety standards, regulations, and testing protocols that differ from country to country. Each nation sets its own rules, often based on scientific studies, consumer concerns, and political pressures. For U.S. farmers, even naturally occurring substances in the soil, like cadmium, can become major trade barriers, threatening their access to lucrative export markets and putting their livelihoods at risk. In this chapter, we'll dive deeper into the Taiwan rejection, explore the science behind the contaminant, and reveal how Mexico's avocado industry keeps winning in the face of global scrutiny. This is more than just a trade dispute. It's a story about the delicate balance of trust, science, and economics that underpins the global food supply. Every decision, every regulation, and every shipment has ripple effects across continents. From the farm to your breakfast table, the fate of an avocado is anything but simple. The next time you enjoy avocado toast, remember the journey and the challenges behind every bite. In the spring of 2025, Taiwan rejected nearly 4,000 kilograms of U.S. avocados from two prominent California companies. This incident sent shockwaves through the agricultural export community, highlighting the stringent standards that must be met to access international markets. The reason for this rejection was the detection of cadmium levels that exceeded Taiwan's strict legal limit. Cadmium, a naturally occurring heavy metal, can be harmful in high concentrations, making it a significant concern for food safety regulators. This wasn't a minor customs snag, it represented a substantial financial loss and posed a reputational risk for the exporters involved. The rejected shipments meant that thousands of avocados, which could have been sold in the market, were instead wasted. In response, Taiwan's FDA increased inspection rates for future shipments from these companies, adding layers of scrutiny that raised both costs and uncertainty for the exporters. This move was intended to ensure compliance but also added pressure on the supply chain. This wasn't the first time such rejections had occurred. Similar incidents happened in 2021 and 2022, affecting a range of U.S. agricultural products. Each rejection serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by exporters in meeting diverse international standards. The core issue lies in the fact that U.S. production realities don't always align with the specific, stringent requirements of export markets like Taiwan. This discrepancy can lead to significant hurdles for American farmers and exporters. For American exporters, a single failed test can mean a total loss of perishable cargo. The financial implications are severe, as the cost of growing, harvesting, and shipping these avocados is lost, along with potential revenue. The industry now faces a tough question. How do you comply with dozens of international standards when the contaminant in question is a naturally occurring element? This challenge requires innovative solutions and constant vigilance. Navigating this patchwork of rules is a constant challenge for U.S. growers. They must stay informed about changing regulations and adapt their practices to meet the varying standards of different countries. The stakes are incredibly high and the margin for error is razor thin. Every step in the process from farm to port must be meticulously managed to ensure compliance and avoid costly rejections. Cadmium is a naturally occurring heavy metal that's been part of the Earth's crust for millions of years. It's a silvery white element, often found alongside other metals like zinc, copper, and lead. While it might sound exotic, cadmium is actually present in the environment all around us, even if we can't see it. You'll find cadmium in soil, rocks, and water, sometimes in surprisingly high concentrations depending on the local geology. It's not something that's added artificially to the land, it's simply there, a natural part of the landscape. As avocado trees grow, their roots absorb nutrients and minerals from the soil, including trace amounts of cadmium. Farmers don't add it, and there's no practical way to remove it from the earth. It's just a fact of nature that plants, especially deep-rooted ones like avocados, can take up small amounts of this metal as they develop. Some regions, like California, are known for having higher natural cadmium levels in their soil. This is due to the unique mineral composition of the land, shaped by ancient geological processes. For growers, this means that even with the best farming practices, it's nearly impossible to avoid some cadmium ending up in their crops. But what about health risks? Cadmium can be harmful, but only with long-term high-level exposure, usually from industrial pollution or contaminated water, not from eating fruits and vegetables. The body doesn't need cadmium, and too much can affect the kidneys and bones, but the amounts found in most foods are extremely low. In fact, the avocados that were recently rejected had cadmium levels far below the World Health Organization's safety threshold. These levels are considered safe for human consumption by most international standards. To put it in perspective, you'd have to eat several pounds of these avocados every single day for years to even approach a level of concern. For the average person, that's simply not realistic. The real issue isn't about health, but about regulations. Taiwan's maximum residue limits for cadmium in avocados are much stricter than those set by international organizations like the WHO or the European Union. This means that even perfectly safe avocados can be blocked from entering the market. So, an avocado that passes safety checks in one country might be rejected in another, simply because the rules are different. This creates confusion for both exporters and consumers. As a result, farmers are caught between the natural presence of cadmium in their soil and a complex web of international legal frameworks. They have little control over either, yet their livelihoods depend on meeting these ever-changing standards. The presence of cadmium in avocados isn't a sign of poor farming or contamination, it's a natural phenomenon that's become a costly trade barrier for growers and exporters. In the end, for exporters, everything comes down to a single lab result. Whether the cadmium level is above or below the importing country's limit, that's what determines if their avocados make it to market or get left behind. For California avocado growers, managing cadmium is like finding a needle in a haystack. Cadmium levels vary wildly, even between fruits on the same tree. Testing every avocado is impossible. Growers can only sample, hoping the batch meets strict foreign standards. One outlier can doom an entire shipment. The financial risk is huge. A rejected load means lost product, shipping costs, and damaged business relationships. U.S. exporters face a disadvantage against regions with naturally lower cadmium or less stringent regulations. Different countries, different rules. A shipment fine for Canada might be rejected by Taiwan. Navigating this web of standards is a logistical nightmare. Taiwan has rejected produce from other countries too, showing this is a global challenge. For any exporter, ultra-strict and varied food safety standards are a constant threat. The randomness of nature meets the rigidity of international law. While U.S. growers struggle, Mexico dominates the avocado world. Mexico's rich volcanic soil and ideal climate make it the perfect home for the Hass avocado. The country's export machine is worth billions, shipping avocados worldwide, especially to the U.S. Mexican shipments rarely face rejection for contaminants. Quality control issues are usually minor and easily absorbed. Their scale is unmatched, ensuring a steady supply for global buyers. Decades of experience and sophisticated logistics keep their exports running smoothly. Mexico's proactive trade agreements and close work with regulators minimize surprises. By focusing on volume, quality, and strong relationships, Mexico has built an avocado empire. Their dominance is no accident. It's the result of scale, expertise, and smart strategy. For now, Mexico remains the world's #1 supplier. California's avocado woes aren't unique. Farmers worldwide face the same regulatory maze. Indian mango growers recently saw U.S. shipments rejected for exceeding pesticide residue limits. Standards vary wildly. What's safe at home may be banned abroad. The fallout? Rejected mangoes flooded India's domestic market, crashing prices and hurting farmers. These cases highlight a global tension. Every country wants to protect its citizens, but unaligned standards create costly barriers. Farmers must juggle dozens of legal frameworks, each with its own rules. The result is a high-stakes, unpredictable game for exporters everywhere. Calls for stricter compliance and organic methods are growing, as producers fight to regain access to lucrative markets. When a shipment is rejected, the pain is immediate for farmers and exporters. Months of work and investment vanish, and perishable fruit is often destroyed. A single rejection can tarnish a company's reputation, leading to more inspections and higher costs. For small farms, one bad test can threaten their entire year. Sometimes rejected produce floods local markets, dropping prices for everyone. Consumers may benefit from cheaper fruit, but farmers lose out on export profits. Strict, unpredictable trade rules create volatility for the whole supply chain. The global food system is fragile. One lab result can ripple from farm to table. Mexico's avocado dominance is built on geography, climate, and scale. Michoacán's volcanic soil and year-round harvest give Mexico a unique edge. The industry is highly organized, with advanced logistics and strong associations like APIM. Close collaboration with the USDA ensures most issues are resolved before export. Mexico produces over 2.4 million metric tons annually, more than the next 7 countries combined. This scale lets them absorb setbacks and influence global prices. Their system creates trust and predictability, making them the go-to supplier. Mexico's combination of natural advantages and smart strategy keeps them on top. U.S. avocado growers aren't giving up, they're adapting. They're investing in advanced soil and water testing to map cadmium hotspots and target harvesting. Industry groups are pushing for diplomatic engagement and regulatory harmonization with key markets like Taiwan. The gold standards based on international science, not arbitrary limits. U.S. growers are also doubling down on quality, sustainability, and their local advantage. California avocados are marketed as premium, eco-friendly, and fresher than imports. By focusing on innovation and environmental stewardship, they hope to carve out a profitable niche. The path forward is multi-pronged: science, diplomacy, and smart marketing. Setbacks have spurred the industry to evolve and fight for its place in the global market.